Good evening and welcome to this Wednesday edition of Primetime News. I'm Salima Shimwe-Feleni. Leading tonight's bulletin, President Hage Geingob on Wednesday officially opened the 2021 legal year, where he emphasized his commitment to ensuring that the judiciary remains independent and impartial in serving Namibians. Geingob, in his virtual remarks, said while the judiciary has for the past 30 years impeccably served the Namibian public with integrity, there is a growing discontent from the public in the manner justice is delivered, something which he said requires introspection on all fronts.
President Hage Geingob noted that a wide range of selection of society lacks access to legal services and to the courts. Geingob added that while government acknowledges that limited resources have had a negative effect on the ability of the judiciary to execute its mandate with speed and fairness, officials should learn to do more with less.
We must understand that in these times of economic challenges, it is the most vulnerable members of our society that suffer. In this regard, our judiciary must increasingly become an indispensable and integral role player in the fight against poverty, corruption, and inequality. The provision of free legal advice has the ability to keep a family in its home and may help save a woman or a child from exploitation and abuse.
He encouraged private legal practitioners to do more pro bono work through outreach programs in remote areas where the need is the greatest. Speaking at the same event, Chief Justice Peter Chivuta said the urgent task facing the institution is to ensure that the courts continue to run and to clear the backlog that has arisen from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I wish to assure the public and the users of court services that the judiciary will remain or will weather the storm created by COVID-19 and will ensure that you are able to access court services in a safe environment.
A 39-year-old male from the Walvis Bay district has succumbed to COVID-19, Health and Social Services Minister Dr. Kalumbi Shangola has announced. Shangola, who was speaking during the COVID-19 briefing at the Government Information Center on Wednesday, added that the man died on the 5th of February 2021. The country now has 378 deaths. The minister further announced that 111 COVID-19 patients are hospitalized countrywide, of which 15 are in intensive care.
We have received over the past 24 hours a total number of 1,020 results, and out of those, 41 are positive for COVID-19, which represents a 4% positivity ratio. These cases are distributed as follows: Kavango East, 18, 11 from Andara, and 7 from Rundu. Comas, 12 from Windhoek, Karas, 3, 2 from Luderitz, and 1 from Kidmanshoop. Erongo, 2, 1 each from Usakos and Walvis Bay. Oshikoto, 2, 1 each from Onanjokwe and Tsumeb. Umsati, 2 from Oshikuku, Omaheke, 1, and Ohangwena, 1 from Okongo. Among the confirmed cases, there are 2 healthcare workers, 1 each from Windhoek and Okongo districts. There are also 15 learners from different schools and 2 employees from the mining sector. We have recorded 103 new recoveries, and the recovery rate of Namibia at 96%. The recoveries are as follows: Erongo 70, Comas 22, Ohangwena 8, and Omsati 3.
Prime Minister Sarah Kuhongerwa Amadira on Tuesday defended President Hage Geingob, stating that the head of state did not violate any law by remotely opening Parliament for the year 2021. Kuhongerwa Amadira, who was speaking during the opening session of Parliament, said that there is no provisions or laws that states the President should be physically present in Parliament to address the House.
There is no violation that has been committed by the President by opening Parliament virtually. There is absolutely no violation, because we ourselves as members of this House are engaged in deliberations of the House from different points. We debate from the other room and from this chamber here, but we go on with the work of the House. We even pass laws. It cannot be argued that it was the intention of the law that where we find ourselves in circumstances such as this, it cannot be possible for the President to address us by other means that he usually takes. And I'm also not aware of any provision in any law that says that the President must be physically present here to make an address. Even if the President wanted to deliver the State of the Nation address from State House, he can still interact with us virtually. There is nothing in the law that prevents that.
Gender Minister Doreen Sioka feels targeted by Namibians, calling on her to step down from her portfolio. Sioka stressed that fighting sexual gender-based violence is not a one-man job. The minister made these comments during an interview with this agency on Tuesday outside the National Assembly chambers shortly after the opening of the third session of the 7th Parliament. We will be back shortly after the international news roundup. Welcome back. The sulfur packaging warehouse being constructed in Arandis will soon be completed and ready to store about 60,000 tons of sulfur imported from Russia to be used by local mines and other African markets. In an interview with the Namibia Press Agency recently, site manager Leon van Eck said the process of constructing the 210 square meter warehouse facility started in March 2020 and will be completed by May following delays caused by the novel coronavirus pandemic.
Sulfur packaging warehouse construction of the facility was set for completion in November 2020. However, due to COVID-19, some components could not be shipped from South Africa.
We are going to stock from the reagents into the warehouse here and from the material from Walfish Bay Depot so that we can distribute it to the mines as they request.
Van Eck further stated that the facility will create employment for the residents of Arandis, which will in turn ensure the town's sustainability. Arandis Chief Executive Officer Stanley Norris said the construction of the facility aligns with a 5-year strategic plan for the town.
Firstly, we need to align always with our strategy. And when we see business applications coming in, we do what we call, as part of the monthly schedules again, we do what we call business filtering. So this is where all the HODs come together and look at all of the applications and start the alignment process. In other words, we see which of the applications is aligned with what we want to do. You know, we don't want the town to develop unequally. In essence, this is the industrial sector. That is will be done in the industrial sector, and that is what is available in the industrial sector.
Norris added that as the new storage facility falls under the industrial sector, it will add to the revenue of the council.
The employment created, which is an injection into the employment of the town, and then thirdly, nationally, of course, we are increasing our export again, which is exactly in alignment with the NDP5.
We will be back with sports news after the economics roundup. Mobile Telecommunications Limited, MTC Chief Human Capital and Corporate Affairs Officer Tim Ekanjo said MTC will not tolerate racial discrimination and mismanagement of funds by its sponsorship beneficiaries. Ekanjo made these remarks here on Tuesday during an annual sponsorship engagement session with all 13 of its sponsored bodies aimed at issues like handling of financial affairs, reputation, and branding. He said MTC has a reputation to protect and will not be involved with organizations that have the potential to damage the company's image. Therefore, transparency is key from every organization that benefits from MTC's social responsibility through sponsorship deals. We will return after the sports roundup. That's all the news we had for you tonight. Many thanks for tuning in. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe, like, share, and click on the notifications bell to stay up to date with the latest happenings locally and globally. From myself, Selima Shimwefeleni, and the entire Nampa crew, it's good night.